with everything you could ever want to make and do
Right at your fingertips. I'm Stephen.
And I'm Naomi.
And here's what's coming up on today's show.
Find out if Stephen is quick enough to beat the clock in today's 1 Minute Make.
They're in all the shops and look great. We show you how to make a funky, chunky belt.
And in Food Fingertips, we'll show you a sweet way of making rainbow-coloured sugar.
And for all the details on today's makes, check out the Fingertips website, address at the end of the show. Or grab a pen and paper and jot it down straight away. This is Techno Fingertips, and today we're going to show you how to make a camera that has all the necessary high-tech extras. It's got a variable shutter speed, uses 35mm colour film, is light and easy to handle,
And is made out of 2 matchboxes, like these.
totally high-tech, and it looks like this. Now, as incredible as it sounds and looks, this really is a disposable camera and can take a whole roll of colour photos. Have a look at these. Look, there's one of me, there's one of Naomi, and there's one of us together.
We give this a Fingertips difficulty rating of 4. OK, that might sound a bit tricky, but it really is worth the effort, and it's a make that will definitely impress your mates.
This really is worth making, and once you do get your fingertips on the 2 large matchboxes, take out the trays and keep the sleeves because you're going to need them in just a second, and tape the trays end to end with some sticky tape like we've done here. Now, these large matchboxes have these card divides in, and you want to just cut off one of the flaps of one of the divides and then stick it back on, but leave a gap here because that's where the film is going to be threaded through. And it's important that this divide doesn't fall flat, so just tape it in place there and there. And hopefully that should keep it nice and sturdy. Is that secure? Yeah. Then you need a pencil, and push the pencil through the other matchbox tray all the way through. And you'll notice that this has got a point at both ends. You'll see why in just a second.
Now you're ready to load your film. It's an ordinary 35mm. Just place it into this little section at the end. Push the film through that slot you made. Keep pulling the film through into the second matchbox tray, and then use a small piece of tape to fix the film to the pencil like that. So when you twist the pencil, you'll wind the film on.
And now to make the all-important pinhole that acts as a lens to your camera and allows light to get through and hit the film that's stretched over this section of the box. So turn the box over and make an X like we've done here. That'll find the centre of this section, and that's where you need to make the pinhole. Now, it's best to use a dress pin rather than a drawing pin because you need the hole to be as small as possible. That should do it, believe it or not. And now to make the cover for your camera. Take your sleeves, and on one of them, you want to make a couple of slits. One here and one here, about halfway down the box. And now slide this over this tray where you've just made the pinhole, and now that will act as a flap that you can open and close to reveal the pinhole. Now, you need to make the camera totally light-proof, so you need to cover up all of these gaps, and the easiest way to do it is use the other sleeve. So cut off a tiny bit of the sleeve and pop that on that end, and the rest of it can go on this end. And there's still a slight gap here, so just a piece of card will cover that and keep it in place with lots of sticky tape.
So I've got my light-proof box, but just to make absolutely sure no light gets in where the pencil is, use the pointy end of the pencil and some modelling clay to skewer small squares of foam over each end, so like that. And the modelling clay will help look after your fingertips. And stick that in place with sticky tape, like so. Do that on both sides. And then take 2 elastic bands, and you want to wrap one around each end of the pencil. This will really make sure no light gets into your camera and onto the film. So do that on both sides. And then as a final safety precaution, why not paint your whole pinhole camera black? Make sure you cover both matchboxes, and you might even need 2 coats of paint.
And when the paint is dry, just one more thing to do. Bit of sticky tape to keep the flap closed, and you're ready to go. Now, when you are taking a photo with a pinhole camera, it's a good idea to lean it against a table just to keep it nice and steady. And now, Naomi, get ready. I'm going to take a picture of you. You ready?
Yeah, okay. Ready.
Smile. Okay, stay still. Open up the flap. Now, for an indoor shot, you keep it open for about 5 seconds. For an outdoor shot, about 3. That should do it. Then close up the flap. and always keep it closed when you're not taking a photo. Then you wind it on, about 2.5 turns, and you're ready to take your next shot.
And when you've finished your whole film, you need to take the film out, but you need to do this bit in pitch black. If any light gets onto your film, it'll ruin all your pictures. So go into a totally dark room, preferably at night time, and with your hands inside a black bag, rip open your camera and carefully rewind the film. Take your time doing this bit as it can be quite tricky. And this is what your hands should be doing inside the black bag.
And you'll be amazed at what good pictures you can take. Have a look at these. This is a picture of my friend's dog. We've also got a picture of Naomi there. And check out this one with a ghost in the background.
So if you'd like to have a go at making a fingertips ultimate disposable camera, check out the website. You click on Techno and there you'll find all the details and instructions of how to make it and how to take those ghostly photos.
So why not have some photo fun and make the fingertips ultimate disposable camera? Got a minute?
Because this is the part of the programme where we show you something that will take under a minute to make using odds and ends you find around your house.
Today it is my turn to make.
And it is my turn to time.
Not a lot of stuff for this, but it's so good, I can guarantee you now, I think you'll want to make one.
Right, OK. Now, we know what it is, but we're not going to tell you, so see if you can guess what Stephen's making as he does. Are you ready?
I am so ready, it's going to rock your world.
I think there's a clue in there somewhere. 3, 2, 1... go.
Right, now what I do is I take my pen, I take this wire that you can get from a craft shop, and I just start to wrap it around the pen.
5 seconds gone.
Like this, it's okay, just keep on wrapping.
Add a bit of stress if I come in close.
No, not at all, but I might have your eye out with this wire, so move back.
I will do that.
So push this down here.
13 seconds gone.
You need quite a lot of the pen, so just carry on. Do you know, this is so easy to do. I can do it with my eyes, because I'm not even looking at that. I can still do that. Can you see that? Look,
I hope it goes wrong now.
There we are. Keep going.
26 seconds have gone.
Fabulous. Now, take this off, and I take these beads, and just pop a bead on there, another bead on there.
27 seconds left.
Like that. Also another bead on here, like that. And final bead goes on there. How long have I got?
You now have had 40 seconds. 20 seconds left.
OK, nearly there. I'm doing it in good time. Final bit. On here, one eye.
As the eye falls off.
And that one there. And now
10 seconds to go.
Don't need them. Stop it.
Oh, 52 seconds.
OK, look at this. You ready? Do you know what it is?
Well, yes, I do, but do you know what it is?
Here we go. Watch. I'm going to show you now. I pop the pen in, and it's called a pen top rocker because as I write, it rocks. It's good.
And if you think that's good, take a look at these. You could try making 2 coils of wire, like this flowery one and this feathery one.
You don't need to make the bead version. You could add a plastic toy like this spider.
And this rock star really is a pen top rocker. So, see if you can rock your way around the clock in under a minute.
And make a fingertips pen top rocker.
Fingertips top tip. If you find paint won't paint over sticky tape, replace it with masking tape. You can paint over that perfectly. This is Little Fingertips, the part of the programme where we show you how to make something by recycling stuff you probably have lying around at home. And today it's the turn of this, a boring old chain. But with a little bit of fingertips know-how, we're going to show you how to turn it from this into this, a funky chunky fingertips bolt-on belt, a chunky chain dripping with bolts, washers and loops. It really does look great, and it is so simple to make. And you don't just have to stick to the nuts and bolts. You could add beads to your belt to get a really colourful version, or even attach some feathers to get that exotic look. These belts are so fashionable, you'll find them in the shops everywhere. And the great thing is, we've given them a fingertips difficulty rating of 1, so you can get bolting. First of all, get rid of this. You need to get your fingertips onto a small chain and make sure it's one that's big enough to go around your waist or your hips. If you haven't got one lying around at home, don't worry, you can pick them up cheaply and easily in hardware or DIY stores. And while you're there, you'll probably come across some of these too, nuts and bolts. These make great attachments for your belt and you can fix them on very simply. Just push a bolt through a loop and take a nut and screw that onto the end, and that will hold it tightly in place. You can also use paper clips and washers, thread them together like so, and then these clip on really easily to the chain. You can pop them in between the nuts and the bolts. In fact, anything metallic will look great on your bolt-on belt, like this keychain. Cool. And take a look at these. Try a stylish low-slung belt with small chain loops and even a bit of shiny bicycle chain. Looks funky. Or how about a bolt-on bracelet made in the same way but using a smaller chain and some beads? And check out this funky, chunky necklace. It's made in the same way but with some small beads hanging down. So why not join the chain gang and make yourself a little fingertips bolt-on belt?
Recognise this? Yep, it's sugar. Nice and sweet, but not much fun to look at. Well, we've used a bit of fingertips magic to change boring old white sugar like this into this colourful rainbow sugar. It looks great.
Sweet, ideal for brightening up your breakfast cereal. Just sprinkle some rainbow sugar on top, leave it for a while, and then give it a stir and you'll get colourful rainbow swirls.
It's clever, isn't it? And we give rainbow sugar a difficulty rating of 2, so there's no excuse not to make it.
And the real fun comes from how you make it. Have a look at this. This is a solution of sugar and water with a bit of food colouring, but check this out, this is so cool. The sugar is harvested from string suspended in the solution.
So, to make rainbow sugar, you're going to need 4 cups of sugar, 1 cup of water that we poured into this saucepan here to heat up. To this, you add 2 cups of sugar. Just pour that carefully in there. And then give it a stir until it dissolves. Now, be very careful here because the mixture's really hot. You don't want to splash yourself. And keep stirring and make sure that you don't boil the mixture at any time. When that sugar has dissolved, you then get the other 2 cups and pour them in. And keep stirring until it's all dissolved.
And when your sugar has completely dissolved, take it off the heat and keep stirring the mixture until it's cooled right down, like this one. And now you're ready for the food colouring. This is going to give your sugar its rainbow colour. And the more you add, the brighter the end colour will be. So I'm going to put the whole lot in there. Bit of rainbow red, give that a stir. And now you need to transfer this mixture into a glass jar. And we think a coffee jar like that is ideal. And before you transfer the mixture, do make sure it is completely cooled down and also that you have washed the coffee jar out thoroughly. Just fill the jar to the very top.
Now to get these crystals, which I think look amazing. What you do is you get some lengths of string and you tie them around a pencil or lolly stick like we've done here, and make sure that the string is longer than the jar that you're using. That way you'll get even more crystals. Just dangle them into the mixture, like this, and then balance the pencil or lolly stick on the top of the jar, then just sit back and watch your crystals form. After about a day, you should already have some crystals formed, but the longer you leave it, the more crystals you'll get.
And when you've got a full string of sugar, take it out of the mixture and leave it to dry on a dish like this. And when it is dry, you can simply snap these crystals from the string, place them into a pestle and mortar, and then grind them into more manageable crystals like this. Or you could just put them into a sandwich bag and bash them with a rolling pin. And try experimenting with different food colourings to get a complete rainbow of colours.
And once you have your rainbow sugar, you can get sprinkling on your cakes. Let's cover the whole thing. There we go, looking nice. What about your breakfast? Give it a quick sprinkle on the top. Very nice indeed. And even on your ice cream. Looks great.
So if you've got a sweet tooth, why not give it a go and make some food fingertips rainbow sugar?
Sweet. Well, that's all we've got time for today.
If you want to make anything from the programme, just check out the Fingertips website. Address is on the screen now.
And we'll see you again very soon for more
Fingertips.
See ya.
Bye.